Orcas are some of the most majestic creatures on the planet. Distinct in appearance, these beautiful beasts are well known for their sleek black body and pearly white underside, as well as the familiar white covering above and behind their eye. Over the years, accounts from coastal communities report orcas who follow fishing boats and make regular appearances around populated ports, engaging in the odd bit of cheeky entertainment, just for fun. Orcas are a beautiful species that have been studied in and out of captivity, yet still, there is a lot we don't know. Here are 10 amazing facts about the killer whale. They're not even whales. The image of the killer whale and their elusive reputation for consuming colossal-sized prey may be debunked when the world learns these majestic mammals aren't even whales at all. While they are certainly as enormous as whales, they are in fact dolphins, the world's largest species of dolphin. And this explains why they have teeth. Even though orcas are killer in the sense they're cool, the name derives from a diet consisting of whales, hence killer of whales. Belonging to the dolphin family, Delphinidae, their closest relatives are the Irrawaddy dolphins, native to Australia and Southeast Asia. Orcas are the only species of their genus, which explains their unique form and beautiful black and white markings. 9. The Deets. To sum up the biometrics of an orca, they can swim fast, live long, and are massive in size. In infancy, a baby orca will weigh in at about 400 pounds, which is comparative to the mass of a motorbike. The little guy will typically be 6 to 9 feet long, while their adult counterparts can reach 23 to 32 feet. To contradict their offspring, an adult male weighs up to 6 tons, almost the size of a large bus. Due to their immense size and power, these fierce swimmers have been recorded at speeds of up to 33 miles per hour. When it comes to their lifespan, however, they don't live as long as other whales. The average life of a male orca is 29 years. Females have significantly longer lives, despite the fact that they endure menopause, and research suggests that their longevity is to help care for the other young members of the pod. In the wild, female orcas live an average of 50 years, though much older accounts claim 80 years or more. While one particular orca was thought to have been 105 when she died, there isn't stable evidence to prove this. 8. The hunt is on. Orcas are known to eat animals much larger than themselves, but they also chow down on unsuspecting shark bait too. They even eat their own kind. Although orcas are dolphins themselves, they will eat other species of dolphin if necessary. Extremely swift animals, the speed of a dolphin makes it a much sought-after catch. So in the midst of a high-speed chase, an orca will ram and stun its prey before going in for the kill. Orcas are unable to take their victim out with a fatal bite, as opening their mouth causes a painful drag along their lower jaw, so a game of bumper cars ensues, and the orca always wins. Such is the case with large fish as well, as orcas will stun them with a lethal strike of their tails. As these predatory animals are known for their high level of intelligence, they utilize their smarts to work together in coordinated attacks. These organized onslaughts can create a flurry of waves that will knock prey right off their floating ice pedestals. What's more, orcas have even begun the dangerous act of beaching themselves in order to entice sea lions before submerging back into the water. Orcas are a remarkable species because their diets and behavior vary based on location. For example, the majestic animals are separated into 2 ecotypes. The northeastern Pacific swimmers are fish eaters, and their nomadic counterparts eat mostly marine mammals. Orcas residing in waters near New Zealand, for instance, survive off sharks and stingrays. 7. They get around. It just so happens that orcas are the most widespread mammal, besides humans. There is nearly no inch of the globe that man has not infiltrated, and the same goes for these titan transients of the sea. The orca species ranges from the Arctic to the Antarctic and move freely everywhere from the ice-capped waters of the north and south to the rhythmical movement of warmer waters along the equator. Orcas can be found around the tropical Hawaiian Islands, stretching to the Galapagos and the Gulf of California. They come in second to humans as far as global distribution. Yet, orcas are not limited to our oceans alone. Some have been spotted in freshwater rivers, such as the Rhine, Thames and Elbe rivers. In one instance, a solo orca was seen 100 miles up the Columbian River, hunting for fish. 6. They stick together. Like humans, orcas are very dependent on one another and prefer to socialise in communities, pods and clans. A community is made up of several different clans that regularly cross paths and have territories which overlap. When it comes to discrepancy of pods versus clans, they are solely distinct due to language. A single clan consists of several pods of family groups, while each pod speaks the same language. They each have their own dialect and accent. For example, someone from England may have a Cockney accent, just as someone from the United States may have a southern twang. Underwater, they rely on clicks and whistles to exchange information with other members of the pod. At the surface, they've been known to use body language, breaching, slapping the water with their flippers or tail, and spy hopping, or bringing their head out of the water, will do the trick. As far as clans are concerned, they speak entirely different languages from another clan. When clans come together, it can be just as confusing for the animals as it is for a Chinese speaker attempting to communicate with a Russian speaker. What's in a name? To build on their correct nomenclature, researchers aren't sure where killer whales got their dark designation from. Despite a few issues in showbiz, they don't typically attack humans. Yet the name is fitting due to their ability to take down large marine animals, such as whales, sharks and sea lions. Theory suggests that past whalers became familiar with the intended prey and denoted the beasts as killers of whales. Over time, the name became corrupted by the kind of people who love all things grim and grisly. To add, the Latin name for orca is Orcinus orca, which translates to of the kingdom of the dead. The interpretation correlates the Roman god of the underworld, Orcus, with the fierce hunting reputation of the ominous killer whale, and there we have a fascinating association with the beast and its bearings. 4. Mammals have menopause too. Well, at least female orcas do. While every other animal on the planet can procreate till their death, only 3 species stand above the crowd: humans, pilot whales, and orcas. Despite the fetus facility giving out, these 3 entities continue to live on for decades, although their prenatal abilities do not. Why is this? Since some may argue reproduction is the basis for evolution, why would a species stop reproducing mid-life? Science has proposed a fascinating explanation known as the grandmother hypothesis. An idea founded in 1966, the theory proposes that older females forego the option to bear more in order to support the ones they have. In an effort to help their children and grandchildren thrive and survive, there is an assurance that the female's genes can surge down through subsequent generations. Investigators have further sealed uncertainties regarding menopause in orcas. Since both sons and daughters remain in the pod well into adulthood, the older females become increasingly related to everyone else. Similar to humans, sharing genes with one's relatives is never good for the cognitive abilities of weaker offspring. When it's clear that a female orca shares too many genes with other pod affiliates, she's granny-zoned. As now it's in everyone's best interest that she support, guide and teach all the children, grandchildren and great-grandchildren. 3. Orcas evolve as humans do. There are no known animal species to evolve based on culture, except for orcas. According to a recent study, the genes of different orca pods were analysed to show clear distinctions in genes which coincided with distinctions in culture. A special team set out to compare the genomes of 2 separate cultures of orcas in the Pacific Ocean, as well as 3 cultures in the Antarctic Ocean. To the surprise of the group, the genomes fell into 5 different groups, which perfectly coincided with the cultural distinctions in each. Since only humans are known to evolve based on their culture, this can lend a major breakthrough for the scientific world. To put it simply, it's difficult for distinct groups of orcas to interact with other groups. They don't merely mingle as one might expect. Rather, orcas of varying region hunt for different kinds of prey, utilize different techniques and survival skills, and even produce different languages. Since orcas rarely breed with members of another demographic, the chances of maintaining the distinct genomes is that much higher. 2. The gang gets invincible. Remarkably, orcas don't have any predators. They are at the very top of the food chain and are therefore considered apex predators. Since orcas are among some of the largest and most powerful creatures in the deep blue, no other animal is able to challenge them. Not even the mammoth-sized blue whale, and not even the rapacious great white shark. Now that's impressive. 1. Deadly by association. There's only been one report of a wild orca lashing out at a human on the water, and defendants of the species maintain it was a case of mistaken identity, as the victim was a surfer. Theories suggest the wetsuits actually protect swimmers from any unwanted orca offense. The material stabilizes invisibility against the animal's solar abilities, thanks to the insulating nitrogen bubbles that make up the suit. In captivity, however, orcas have been known to behave very differently, as several attacks on humans have occurred in zoos and aquariums since the 60s. A killer whale called Tilly, one famous Shamu impersonator for over 25 years at SeaWorld, killed 3 different people on separate occasions. There is much controversy as to why this happened, circulating back to heartbreaking living conditions, horrible treatment, and health, as poor captivity and the detriment of one's well-being could cause any animal to snap. The renowned documentary Blackfish highlights the infamous Tilly as the film uncovers problems with the sea park industry, humans' treatment of nature, and the high intelligence of these remarkable animals. Do you think dolphins should be allowed in captivity? Why or why not? Let us know your opinion in the comments section below. And thanks for watching What Lurks Below.